Shall we start, Swamiji? Swamiji, you are on mute.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear now. Can we start with the prayer, Swamiji?
Yes, of course, we can start now. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam.
Swamiji, before we are going to the question and answer session, we have some special guests today from Hindu Monastery of Africa, Brahmachari Vivek Ji and Brahmacharini Adi Mata and Brahmachari Prabhu and other devotees of Hindu Monastery of Africa. So we are all so glad and with your presence, and we are blessed by your presence. And Swamiji, you can see, of course, you can see them, right?
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Namaste. You are fine.
Yeah. Very happy to see you here.
We are happy to see you too.
I think Vivek ji is coming to Bharat. I heard so. Our Vinod ji wrote me, you are coming to Bharat.
I don't know, their connections are.
Brahmacharya.
Okay, so we can go to the first question. Sunil Krishnji, can we?
Yes, thank you, Rajiv ji and team for organizing this again. Hari Om, thank you, Swami Chidananda Puri ji for your time. Good morning, everyone. My question is based on a reliable source of information that I've received, which is a little disturbing last week. And I want to validate authentically that with you, if that information is correct. And the information is like, and I don't want to be politically incorrect either, but the message was very, from a true source, and it was very disturbing. There seems to be a 1921 repetition planning in Kerala in 2021. And there are pockets of Malabar region, including places like where your ashram is there, as well as I forgot the name of the place. There's a Taliparamba, and all those places. There seems to be a planning happening, and that is from an authentic source. So, do we need to? What is your thoughts on that? And if you think it is may get into politically incorrect, we can ignore that question. But just out of curiosity, if we as Hindus need to be alert and be aware of that and need to do something. So thank you, Swamiji.
I understood your question and the spirit behind that. Of course, 1921 was the most disturbing point in our history, especially during the freedom movement. It is not only disturbing, but it left a black mark in the history of our freedom struggle. Actually, it happened when Mahatma Gandhi supported the Khilafat movement, and he thought that will benefit the freedom movement of India. So he promoted and asked Congress workers to promote Khilafat movement. But what happened, especially in the present Malappuram district, that is in the erstwhile Ernad and Valluvanad taluks, it became more a communal attack. And in those days, the common Muslims were misguided and misled by some vested interest or some groups who had vested interest. And of course, all Muslims were not a party to that. Even then, there were many Muslim leaders and religious scholars who saw the danger in that movement, and they were not involved in that. So even in 1921, the whole Muslim community of Valluvanad and Ernad were not involved in that atrocities. Of course, a part of Muslim community were in that, and it was a one-side attack on Hindus, attack on public properties, and Mahatma Gandhi himself realized how things went out of control. And see, in those days, as everybody knows the history, for them it is all these things are crystal clear that the British people had to resort to military actions to contain that rebellion, which is called the Mapula rebellion. There are so many reports, both government report and many books written by authentic authors who did much research work on that. So all these are past things. In the history of almost all countries, there were such black or dark occasions, and that were or those were really some going back or going away from the right track. It happened everywhere. So it was a wrong course. It was a wrong course in the history of the freedom movement of India. But of course, see, religious fanaticism, that is a thing which you can fuel very quickly. Because where there is not that equilibrium of emotional and intellectual planes in the social psyche, you can very easily, you can make use of or you can abuse the emotional level of the society. So that is still happening. For example, many occasions were there when some militant groups they shouted, "We didn't throw the knives and swords of 1921 into the Arabian Ocean. They are still with us. We will take when time comes." And in Malappuram district, many processions were there. For example, many years back, when I myself was a student in the college, there was a procession in Vandoor. And in that procession, it was shouted, "We didn't throw the knives and swords of 1921. It is still with us." And that procession went straight in front of the police station, Vandoor police station. But no action were taken. And of course, there are many militant groups or such groups with religious fanaticism. Of course, they may be having a dream within to go forward with that plan for repeating 1921. But we must understand all Muslims are not of that psyche. There are men with broad mind, having real secular fabric, and of course, democratic thoughts. We can see different types of people in all communities, whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Sikh, all types of people will be there, both good and bad. Militants will be there. Terrorists will be there, of course. But the present Muslim community as a whole, as far as I know and I believe, will not support such a movement. But even when we are saying this, there are radical groups, there are terrorist groups, and they are having much control over the society also. And the worst side of this aspect is these terrorists are picking youngsters, especially when they are students of school or high school or college level. Even then, many terrorist organizations are having success in taking them to the terrorist path. What we want is active government interference at one side, and on the other, religious scholars. Scholars, by this term scholars, I mean Muslim scholars. Those who are well versed in the literature of Islam. Those who are teaching, propagating Islam. Such scholars must come forward and they must teach to the society. They must take the society to light and they must show what were the fallacies and how militant groups or terrorist group are misleading the society, what course of action we have to take for the betterment of our own society, our own community, and for the whole nation. So this responsibility is with Muslim scholars. And of course, nowadays, many such scholars are realizing the urgent need of these tasks. They are realizing that. So we are expecting their intervention, their teaching, their preaching, that we are expecting from their side. But however, there are militant groups, there are terrorist groups who are working behind the curtain to repeat that 1921, of course. But see, it is only a dream because 1921 has passed. Now it is 2020 and the coming year is 2021. It can never be 1921. Again and again I am repeating, it will not be 1921 again. It is 2021. So those who are dreaming that we can repeat 1921, they are staying in the past century. That is the words, or that is the message we have to convey to them. In that, there are so many meanings. There are so many inner meanings in that. Those who can realize, they will realize. This is the answer. Namaste.
Swamiji, Babuji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Swamiji, as a student of Vedanta, I keep on learning that we are not the body, mind, and intellect. We are pure Brahman. But in a day-to-day life, we keep on still erroneously identifying with the world, the anatma. So, as a guru, what would you tell us? How do we basically reduce the frequency of us associating with the world and coming back on the real path to see the reality in us? And a related question I have is, the population of the world, the human population has been increasing over the years. Is that an indication that there is more adharma happening in the world? Because if you've got self-realization, then you're not born again. So can you sort of correlate that, and is that a pointer to what is really happening in the world?
Yeah. See, I am Brahman. I am Atman, which is unlimited. I am not limited by time or space or causation. That is my real nature. So this fact, this reality is realized by the rishis and those who are established in that knowledge. There is no doubt they are staying in that knowledge. Nothing is taking them away from that knowledge. They are steadfast in that knowledge. They are well established in that knowledge. And they know for certain the world around us. Because even such a man of knowledge, man of realization, as long as prarabdha is there, his body is staying. He's living in the world. He's seeing the world. He's in the midst of all activities. So world is there. He is seeing the world. He is within the world. But even though he is within the world, he is above that. He has transcended. So when you see this world, he is viewing these phenomenal planes as the manifestation of the same truth, same reality, which is he himself. That is the exhortation of rishis. Brahmai Vedam Sarvam. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Purusha Eva Idam Sarvam. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Hundreds and hundreds of sayings are there in the Shruti and Smriti, which shows this world is not something different. All the existence we have or we are seeing, we are experiencing, are nothing but the manifestation of the same principle, same reality. There are no two realities, but manifestations are many. So, for a beginner, you have to discriminate between Atma and Anatma, the real and unreal. Of course, the difference is there. But for a man of realization, there is no Anatma. So the differentiation of Atma and Anatma is no more there. What we are seeing around, including this body, mind, intellect complex, all these things, all these are manifestations of the same principle, same something. Nothing is there because there is no two realities. So the man of knowledge or realization, having this well-established knowledge, the world is not distinct or different. It is one with him. So is the body, so is the senses, so is the prana, so is the mind and intellect. That is for a realized one. But for a seeker, one who is in quest of the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality. For him, he have to discriminate to find out the reality. So for him of course means her, there is no difference of gender. So for him, he have to discriminate between the Atma and the Anatma. And as he is a sadhaka, he is a seeker, there will be two sets of samskaras or tendencies within him. One samskara or one set of samskara will attract him to the sadhana path, and the other set of samskara, of course, it will drag him away. Both the samskaras will be there. But if the sadhaka is doing shravana, manana, and of course swadhyaya, and other basic disciplines, there is no doubt the opposite tendencies which are responsible for such draggings, that will be lessened and lessened. And sadhana samskara will grow, and slowly but surely he will reach that realization. Once he reaches there, then there is nothing which will which is dragging him away from that quest, because there is no quest no more. There is no more quest, because he is established in the absolute existence. He knows who he is, and the same reality he is seeing in all manifestations everywhere. This is the truth. This is the fact. So Veda repeatedly says, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Verily, all these manifestations are nothing but Brahma. So there is no Anatma. There is no body, mind, intellect complex different from Atma. So when a seeker is seeing these things as something taking him away or dragging him away from the real quest, he have to think within, he have to ask within, what is this? Does the world exist? Does the body exist? Does the mind exist? Yes, this body is existing. This mind is existing. This world is existing. And if it is existing, that is because of the existence absolute. So it is not something other than that absolute existence. In this way, he can contemplate, and such a contemplation will take him to the height of realization. There is no doubt in that. And the next thing is human population. Population is increasing. Of course, we are seeing the present day calamities. And what will happen to the increased population, we have to see in the near future. Because these adjustments, it happens every now and then. because of natural calamities, because of pandemics, because of war. In many such situations, some sort of adjustments happened and will happen. Even then, we know when we observe the last 2 or 3 centuries, human population is increasing in multitudes. Then comes the question, is it an indication of increasing adharma? No. Veda clearly says, punyena punyam, papena papam, ubhabhyam eva manushya lokam. That means, by virtue, you will get such birth as that of Devas, and the reverse will bring in Rakshasa or Asura birth. And when there is a balance of dharma and adharma, ubhabhya, virtues and vices, when that balance is there, when that equilibrium is there, you are becoming human beings. So we cannot say increasing number of human beings as it is an indicator of the increase of adharma. We cannot say that. Of course, dharma and adharma is there. Both are there in human being as an individual and as a society. So we need not think in that. Namaste.
Swamiji, the next question from Brahmachari Vivekji. Vivekji, would you please unmute yourself?
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
Please, my question is in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 69, which says, what is light, what is day for others is night for the realized person, and what is night for others is day for the realized person. Please, if you can explain it further.
Yeah, you are asking about the shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami. Yam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Mune. That is, the meaning is, what is night for all beings? It is the daytime for the wise. And what is the night for the wise? It is the daytime for other beings. What is the meaning of this? Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya in his Bhashya explains that daytime is the time in which we are doing our activities. We are working, we are awake. And for all beings, that is for the common beings, what is the daytime in which they are finding themselves active? There is no doubt in sensual objects, in the objects of this world, in many things around me. You and me, good and bad, so many objects of enjoyments. In such things we are active. That is the daytime for them. And a wise man, a man of knowledge, man of discrimination, he knows There is no meaning in that. All these objects are temporal and temporary. They are staying for a short while. And he is not behind such objects. So they are just like night for him. They are just like night for him. He is not at all concerned. He is concerned about himself. He is immersed in the contemplation of the self. He is in quest of the ultimate reality. And this aspect, it is just like night for other beings. They are not at all interested. It is irrelevant for them. What is relevant for them is getting things. Man, woman, money, power, this, that. That is there for them. But it is not at all relevant for the man of knowledge or for the seeker of the ultimate reality. So these two, they are just diametrically opposite. These two visions are there. These are two visions, and it is there in the world from the very, very beginning of each kalpa. Still it is there, it will be there. A few, only a few, a microscopic minority will be inquiring what the ultimate reality is. And they will move on in the path of that quest. And it is like night for other beings. And other beings are indulging in sensual objects, forgetting this and that. It is just like night for the wise, who is for that ultimate realization. This is the easiest explanation we can give for that verse. But if we go more and more deeper, we have to relate that verse that comes in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita with the shloka which comes in the fourth chapter, Karmanya karmaya pashyed akarmani cha karmaya. Sa buddhiman manusheshu sa yukta krishna karma. We have to relate to that. And more and more deeper we can go. But this is the basic idea. This idea we can elaborate, we can go still deeper and deeper. Vivekji, namaste.
Namaste, Swami. Thank you very much.
Krishnji?
Namaste, Swamiji. Swamiji,
Namaste.
your sannyasa was Kailas ashram from Rishikesh. So, who established the Kailas ashram in Rishikesh and the contribution of to Sanatana Dharma by Kailas ashram?
Kailas ashram was established by Swami Dhanaraja Giri. Was a great scholar, not only a great scholar, but he was a great sage or sage of realization. And he was a great teacher. He influenced many great scholars. For example, Swami Vivekananda ji was much influenced by him. He was a great sannyasi. And so many great scholars were developed by or brought out to our society by Dhanrajagiri Swami. In those days, that is in the 1870s, 1880s, 1890s, that period, there were so many seekers, and Himalaya always called all seekers to its bosom. And Rishikesh was not a big city, it was a small village. But so many seekers were there, sadhus were there. And Kailasashram was an abode for them to do Shravana and Swadhyaya. During his travels as a mendicant, Swami Vivekananda was much attracted to Kailasashram and influenced by the greatness of Dhanrajagiri. And when we speak about Dhanrajagiri, we all must realize how he discarded his mortal frame. As I said earlier, there were so many students, so many sadhakas, and always that Shastra discussion of Shastra, scriptures were going on there. And time came for Swamiji's going back. And physically he became weak. Many ailments were there in that body. And knowing our Guruji is going to leave the body, all Vedanta students, all were sannyasis, came to Kailasashram. They were staying around Swamiji. And the final day came. And Swamiji became unconscious. And all sadhus, all Swamis were around. And they knew that he is going to attain Mahasamadhi. So they were crying. Some were wiping their tears, some were crying. All of them were in a distress state. Then Dhanrajagiri Swamiji, he opened his eyes. He saw everybody with a red face. Then he sat on his cot. And he said, oh, I wasted my precious time teaching these fools Vedanta. How many times I've repeated for them, Na jayade mriyadeva kadachit. There is no birth and there is no death for the Atman. Atman is birthless and deathless. How many times I repeated? And they are considering me as somebody going to die. What nonsense this is. So when Swamiji shouted, all those sannyasins came near to him, and Dhanrajagiri started explaining one shloka from Bhagavad Gita, that is Najayade Mriyadeva Kadachit Nayam Bhutva Bhavida Vana Bhuyaha Ajo Nitya Shashyadoyam Purana Hana Hanyade Hanyamane Sharire, and one mantra from Kathopanishad saying Najayade Mriyadeva Vipaschit Nayam Kutaschin Nababhuva Kaschit Ajo Nitya Shashyadoyam Purana Hanyade Hanyamane Sharire. Explaining this shloka and the mantra, slowly he entered Mahasamadhi. This is not a story. This happened. So this was the last day of Dhanrajagiri. He was such a great sannyasi, and he established Kailas Ashram. And the second part of your question was how Kailas Ashram is working or had worked for the revival of Sanatana Dharma. Or in other words, how Sanatana Dharma Samsthapana, revival activities, what role Kailas Ashram did in that. See, all of us know the great work of Swami Vivekananda ji, how he worked and what influence he made. Vivekananda ji himself was influenced by Kailas Ashram and Dhanrajagiri Swami. And Swamiji had a plan to start Ramakrishna order. And when he had that plan, he asked his Guru Bhai, Akhandananda ji, to stay in the Kailas Ashram and study Shastras. And even today, the Sannyasa Diksha ceremonies are being conducted in Ramakrishna Mission according to the manuscript which was there in the Kailas Ashram and which is still there in the Kailas Ashram. Then after Vivekananda ji, so many great saints worked for the revival of Sanatana Dharma. And we have to count Trimurtis who were in the Himalaya in the last century. That is Swami Shivananda Saraswati, Swami Tapovan Maharaj, first You take Shivananda Saraswati. Shivananda Saraswati accepted sannyasa from Kailasa Ashram. Then Tapovan Maharaj, he accepted sannyasa from Kailasa Ashram. Then Purushottomananda Puri, he also accepted sannyasa from, he accepted sannyasa from Ramakrishna order, Ramakrishna mission, but he was much connected with Kailasa Ashram. And then Swami Chinmayanandaji Maharaj, Chinmaya mission is working worldwide. They are doing wonderful works for the revival of Sanatana Dharma. Now, Chinmayanandaji accepted sannyasa from Shivananda Saraswati. And of course, Tapovanji Maharaj was the Shiksha Guru of Chinmayanandaji. And the great Vishnudevananda Saraswati, who is number one in spreading yoga Shastra in the world, in the present day world, he accepted sannyasa from Shivananda Saraswati. And so many great scholars like Jnanananda Saraswati, Satyananda Saraswati, so many great saints. So all these saints are connected with Kailasa Ashram in one way or the other. In the present day world, especially sannyasins who are working for the Sanatana Dharma and for working to spread the teachings of Vedanta, majority of sannyasins are connected with Kailasa Ashram directly or indirectly. So the contribution of Kailasa Ashram we cannot count. If we are explaining in this stretch, it will consume much time. But I think one will realize the greatness of Kailasa Ashram and the part it played in the revival of Sanatana Dharma, that everybody can realize. I think it is clear. Nigusanji, what is your opinion? Is it clear?
Yes, Swamiji, very much clear.
Right.
Namaste.
The next question goes to Rameshji. Rameshji, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. We cannot hear you. You have to unmute it. Yeah, it's okay now. One more. No, you took it one more time. Now it's okay.
Okay, right. Swamiji, namaste.
Namaste.
My question is a little bit confused question. If a Hindu faces a problem, Hindus and all others will criticize, which enable Hindus fear of fear. That results keeping very calm. How this should be?
I can't follow. Please,
okay.
please you ask once more.
If a Hindu faces a problem, if a Hindu faces a problem, Hindu and all others will criticize. If a Hindu faces a problem,
Yeah.
and all others, all other religion persons will criticize, which enable Hindus fear of fear. That result keeping very, very calm. How this should be rectified? by sounding all, Hindu sees one. Please.
When Hindu is facing a problem,
Ah.
others are criticizing. Let them criticize.
Ah.
It is for them to criticize. Let them do that. We have to find solution to our problems. For all problems, there are solutions. And what is the solution? Making our own society united, as taught in Veda itself, samgacchadhvam samvadatvam. You be united. Stand together, work together, speak together. That is the teaching given by rishis in the Vedas. Not only in the Vedas, in the Samhita portion itself, we can see. And making Hindus united, not emotionally, but based on the scriptures. That is our work. That is our task. If we are doing this and strengthening our own society, those who are criticizing will come forward and they will stop criticizing. Why others are criticizing? Because they are considering or they are seeing Hindu society as fragmented. There is no unity. The power of unity is there. We have to manifest it in all ways. Physically, financially, in all respects. So we have that energy within. There is no doubt in that. We have that energy within. Now the urgent need is to synergize that. If we are doing that through this spreading of Shastras and helping those who are in need and caring and showing we are with you, we are one. Not simple lecturing, but showing through activities. That is the way to make our society united. And it is not attacking anybody else. It is protecting our own dharma. So that is the urgent need of the day.
Rakesh ji.
Namaste, Swamiji. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Namaste.
Okay, namaste. Couple of questions. The current scenario is that Muslims are all in all the fields. Take education, take a financial field or a political field. Their goal is Islamization. Sorry, I could not use the word. But we are all divided based on religion, and education is different, politics is different for us. But their goal and idea is single, though they are all from different sector. How do we get all this into one sector? That is one question. And is there anything in Shastra that says how to fight against these evils? Second is that can all the temples connect together all over India and have a helpline for all the Hindus as a helpline, any kind of help at the beginning, and later it can stretch to any possibilities, and unite India. can we, as a temple, I'm saying, can we approach the government to have a tax system, a small, minute level of tax, like 0.5 paise, as just like a GST or something, and have it a big donation for Gurukuls that we had it in our olden days? Can this be done through temples? Because we as individuals, we cannot raise much or unite peoples much. It's the temples which are already which has big people's followers, or at least a small united peoples. Can temples start something in this approach? That will be very big change that would happen in case temple starts in these approaches, even for the Gurukuls.
Yeah. Here, organized religions, from the time of their inception itself, they're working unitedly because they are organized. And in all avenues, they are working together. In all ways, they are united. Even though we can see so many fragmentation nowadays, for so many divisions nowadays, it's a fact. But even then, organized religions are working together. Hinduism is not an organized religion. It cannot be. It is the very base of all religions and other philosophies. Hinduism is a dharma. Dharma cannot be religion. Both are entirely different. Just like forest and plantation. What is the difference between a forest and a plantation? That is the difference between dharma and religion. So we have to realize this. And spreading the ideas and ideals of Veda and other scriptures, we had to awake those who are sleeping, awake not as terrorists or fanatics, but as real men. And for the upliftment of our society in all fields or all respects, of course, financial aspect is most important, and social unity that we have to have. And for all these, our urgent need is to make all temples and temple administration outside the clutches of government. So a second freedom movement to make our temples free and independent from the clutches of political parties and government, that is the urgent need of the time. If we are succeeding in that, the collective money of the society, Hindu society, it can be used for the revival of dharma in spreading our shastras, in making our society more and more powerful. So it is an urgent need. For this, we have to we have to be united with a clear vision. We have to come together, and one oath we have to take. This is a time to take that swear, that we will free, or we will make free the temple administration, and we will approach the government through Supreme Court to nullify all laws and regulations written by British people to control temple properties. So this point must be elaborated, and there is a legal basis for that. I think we can discuss this aspect next week, next Saturday, when we come together. We can have a detailed discussion on this topic, and we can think practically how we can do this. With this subject, we can start our discussion next Saturday. Now it is time to conclude. So
Okay, let us conclude with a prayer from you.
yeah. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.